Hi, my name is John Geerlings, and I'm going to give you a tour of our new hatchery facility that will hatch up to 400,000 baby chicks a week. And here's a few of them that came out this morning. These are nice Isa Browns. You're looking at one of our layer houses that we have currently on site. We have 13 layer houses on this farm. We also have 2 other farms. So we are one of the unique hatcheries in the United States that actually houses their chickens right on site, which gives us great ability to watch over the quality control. We also farm 170 acres of crops that we own right here, that we produce our own corn and soybeans to feed the birds. Every day we gather approximately 200 baskets, and they also have to all be trayed by hand with their points down for our incubators. Every one of these buckets is color coded according to their breed. These are Olive Eggers, these are Buff Orpingtons, these are Isa Browns, and these are Pearl Star Leghorns. So this is the new equipment that I have. This is when I was talking about having to hand tray the eggs. They go onto these flats here. They all get hand trayed with their points down, and each one of these racks holds 5,000 eggs. And each one of my machines will hold 8 racks. So 40,000 eggs go into one machine. The difference with my new equipment compared to the old Robbins equipment is this whole rack will roll into the incubator, and it will rotate every couple hours via air pressure. Where if you remember the old Robbins equipment, I had to hand put each tray in and hand take each tray out. So that's a big significant difference on our new equipment. So this is one of our old Robbins incubators that were made in the 50s and 60s. We still use approximately 12 of the machines. Incubator companies tend to not make small enough flats that my eggs will fit on there. These are all Banny eggs, and they would actually fall through the flats of the new equipment. So we use our old machines yet to hatch Banny trays. Talk about one of the big differences in this machine is we have to hand place every tray. And this machine will turn approximately every 2 or 3 hours. A big difference between the new equipment and the old equipment also is these old machines, they were set at one temperature, and they stay the same temperature all the time. And it's probably 100 degrees, 99.8 depending on, actually these machines will vary 1 or 2 tenths. Our new machines, they actually have a hatcher and a setter profile where the temperature starts at like a higher temperature and it lowers every day. That increases the hatch, and we probably get 3% better hatch out of our new equipment than the old because of better temperature control, better humidity control, better CO2 control. Another thing that's different between the old equipment and the new equipment is all of these incubators, they just vent into the room, whereas all of our new equipment actually vents to the outside. So we're never having dirty air put into the environment, which also increases our biosecurity. As you notice as we're walking, we have some of the old equipment, and these are all Bannies ready to be going into the machine. These are some guinea eggs that actually go into the old Robbins equipment. A big difference also in my hatchery now is every room is segregated with these doors and air pressure, so we keep all contaminants out of one room to the other. So we start with the dirty room, which we consider the traying room, and then we move into a cleaner and cleaner area as we go. This is our mechanical room. This is a lot of fancy stuff in here. We have 2 air compressors that we use for turning the eggs. The big tank there, that is a mixing tank. So we have water that goes outside to our fluid cooler, which cools the water. It gets thrown into this tank, and on the other side is water that goes through all of our incubators, because we actually have to cool the incubators, because as the chicks are growing, they produce heat. So we only need heat the first few days, and then the incubators actually need cooling. So now we'll be entering into our new setting facility. This facility houses 33 incubators, which will hold 1.25 million eggs at one time. This room is all climate controlled at 72 degrees, at 50% humidity. There is air that's getting pushed into here, and the incubators take the air in through these inlets, and it passes through above the machines and outside. You can actually access these machines up above, and you can walk above these machines. So this room is a lot bigger than what you see. This particular machine right here holds 8 racks, so 40,000 eggs go into this machine. They turn, as you can see, they are on an angle, and if we hit turn, they automatically turn using air pressure. You'll also see that I have a lot more readouts than my old machine. Right now it's at 99.5 degrees, 54% humidity. We also have a CO2 reading. And this is the unique thing about these machines is at day 1, it starts at 100.3 degrees, and you can see this temperature goes down as the eggs incubate. Also, the humidity tends to go down, and there's a CO2 level in there too that we monitor. When chicks are developing, they start giving off CO2, so that gives us an indication of how well the eggs are going to hatch. These machines also enable me to have a shorter hatch window, because they're so regulated to the 10th of a degree that if I am counting my baby chicks at 6 o'clock in the morning, most of these chicks do not start hatching till midnight the night before. By having this new equipment enables me to be able to ship you a fresher chick, a healthier chick. We can clean and disinfect these machines once we pull the eggs out. A lot of these machines, they're all running or getting ready to run. This is a empty machine getting ready, and as you can see, there's fans in the middle, which will turn on. And it actually gets quite windy in there, but that circulates the air around, so we have no cold spots, we have no warm spots in the machine. These are the air lines that hook up to the racks, which enable the racks to turn every time. This is a drainage system, so when the eggs get pulled out of the machine here, we're able to soap and disinfect the machine and get it ready for the next batch. This is kind of what it looks like with the air lines hooked up. They just kind of piggyback on each other, and like I said, they'll just rotate back and forth. So we have two rows of incubators that we can walk around, and keep in mind that each one of these racks has 5,000 eggs in it. So we headed out of the setting room, and now we're going to head into the actual hatching room. The machines look identical to the setters, but the main difference is inside the machines are all hatching baskets, not setting baskets. So all of the eggs have to be flipped into these hatching baskets. That way the chicks don't fly out. It looks like these are Isa Browns. I can tell because they're white and red. So the red ones are the females and the white ones are the males. And looks like they came off really nice. There's probably 100 and, probably looks like about 130, 140 chicks on this tray, and there was 168 eggs that got set. So probably looks like about 80% hatch came off this morning on those. All the chicks get placed into cardboard boxes. That's how we ship the birds. It keeps them warm. We have air holes in them, depending on the weather. This is what we would call a summer lid. These chicks are being delivered to a customer, so that's why they have a summer lid on. It's not that warm in Michigan yet. We would generally have a winter lid if we were shipping these in the mail. And then we have these holes that we can either poke out. In the summer, they're all poked out. In the winter, there might be only 1 or 2 holes poked out, or 0 holes poked out if it's extremely cold. Don't worry if there's no holes poked out. The chicks, there's little air holes in the box. They get plenty of oxygen yet. And we put some straw on the bottom so that their legs don't slip, and it keeps them nice and warm. We place 104 chicks in a box. Generally give people 4% extra. It's not guaranteed that you get 4%, but we try to give 4% extra in case there's one that doesn't make it, or we miscount or something of that sort. Here's some different colored ones. These look like these are Mystic Morans. So one distinguishing factor on them is they have feathers on their feet. We have quite a few blackbirds, but only the Morans have feathers on their feet. So they will look like they hatched really well too. Another nice thing about the new equipment is it's all plastic, so everything can get cleaned and disinfected compared to the old equipment that had a lot of wood that you couldn't just spray water on. So we have a big tray washer that all these trays get run through after every use.